From cascading Cadillac crashes to cargo close call chaos, Pontiac punches to wacky Waymos, we never know what our subscribers are going to send us, and this week's episode is no exception. Corey and Devin were driving through Maryland in their Toyota RAV4 when a Cadillac rear-ended a Chevy Traverse at high speed. After the impact, the Chevy was shoved into the back of a Toyota Highlander while the Cadillac continued and hit another Toyota. Meanwhile, Corey and Devin's RAV4 somehow escaped any damage. They immediately stopped to render aid to the occupants of the involved vehicles, but thankfully nobody was seriously hurt. Tow trucks eventually responded to haul all 4 vehicles away. We don't know for sure what ended up happening to them, but Corey and Devin told us the tow truck drivers said all 4 vehicles would end up being totaled. They wanted to shout out their son, but he's too shy to be named. Gabriella and her fiancé Alfredo were on their way to pick up a pet chicken when the driver of the car ahead of them didn't move after the traffic light turned green. At least, not at first. The driver of an oncoming armored truck must have decided to go for it after seeing the Toyota driver failing to react to their green light. But then they finally noticed the light and drove forward, clipping the back of the truck. Gabriella pulled over and called 911 to report the collision, and police responded just 3 minutes later. She told us it didn't appear that anyone was injured, and she provided the police with a copy of her dashcam footage. This subscriber was driving his Kia Sportage down a Virginia highway when the driver directly ahead of him suddenly lost some unidentified cargo out of the trailer he was towing. Our subscriber, who was clearly paying attention to the road ahead, managed to swerve around the debris, evading any impact. He did stop at the next rest area to check for damage, but thankfully he didn't find any. Once again, this is another reminder to secure your cargo anytime you're hauling anything. If something goes flying, you'll be held responsible for any damage that it does. Richard watched multiple police vehicles speed past him in pursuit of a rental box truck before one of them lost control and rear-ended an SUV in the exit lane. The impact sent the SUV spinning before the police vehicle came to a stop, quickly joined by 2 others. Richard told us he pulled over and gave a copy of his dashcam footage to the cops. Thankfully, the occupants of the SUV that had been struck weren't seriously hurt. Richard wanted to tell his wife, "I love you to the moon and back, P.S. I win." We honestly have no idea what he's talking about. Jim watched not 1, not 2, but 3 drivers run a stop sign ahead of him before the last one got a dose of instant justice from a cop driving an unmarked Dodge Charger. Jim just kept going after letting the party lights pass him, and he said he appreciates it when we censor the profanity that some of our submissions contain. That's why we do it, Jim. Not everybody wants to hear the colorful language. Dalton was making one more stop before heading home when an impatient SUV driver suddenly cut in front of him, forcing him to choose between 2 bad options: hitting the SUV with his Subaru Impreza or slamming into a curb. Thankfully, the SUV driver followed Dalton into a parking lot where both drivers checked for damage to their vehicles. Amazingly, Dalton had managed to avoid making contact with the SUV altogether. Neither driver was hurt, and Dalton told us the other driver was apologizing profusely. Dalton took a photo of his license plate in case he discovered some damage later, but with nothing obvious visible, they both went on their way. While he was stopped to download his dashcam footage, Dalton's wife called to ask him to pick up some fast food. After telling her the story, he decided he also wanted some fast food after the close call. Matthew's mother is a rideshare driver who watched a van run a red light and slam into a car.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Matthew's mother stopped and checked on everyone involved in the collision before continuing and dropping off her passenger. Before we move on, I had one quick note to add about this white Mazda. See how, even though there's white light being cast on the road ahead of it, the Mazda's taillights go totally dark once the driver's foot is off the brake? This is because their headlights aren't turned on. The white light on the road is from the daytime running lights, which aren't nearly bright enough for safe nighttime driving. Always make sure your headlights are on before you drive at night. And yes, I'm fully aware this wasn't a contributing factor in this collision, and the Mazda driver won't need to worry about it anymore since their car was totaled. It just really bugs me when I see people doing this. Brandy was on her way home from work when her radar detector started going off just as a Toyota Camry passed her at well over the 50-mile-per-hour speed limit. She told us a police officer sets a speed trap in the same place every day, and the Camry driver tripped it. The police SUV's party lights came on as the officer pulled onto the road, then chased down the Toyota for some instant justice. Brandy told us she's been waiting to capture an instant justice video for almost 2 years, and she finally got one. If you've got dashcam footage to share with us, the submission link is in the video description. She also said this is the second time her footage has been featured on Wham Bam Dashcam. We'll put a link to the episode containing her previous submission at the end of this one, just in case you missed it. Jaden's older brother had just picked up a friend and was headed to an ice skating rink, but he didn't realize he'd be doing some ice skating in his Nissan Frontier before he got there. When an SUV driver pulled across his lane, turning the wrong way in an apparent attempt to reach the left turn lane, Jaden slammed on his brakes, but his pickup truck just slid on the icy road before T-boning the SUV. The impact pushed the SUV off course and into the side of an Audi in the other lane, bringing the total number of vehicles involved in the collision up to 3. Police and firefighters quickly responded to the scene. The repair quote for Jaden's brother's pickup was the Canadian equivalent of about $13,000 US, but that estimate has been climbing as additional damage is discovered. Here's hoping the truck won't end up being totaled. Sebastien watched a van driver turn onto the road before stopping to let someone turn, even though there was no traffic blocking the van from continuing. A perfect example of close the gap. When the Nissan driver, who definitely couldn't see oncoming traffic, decided to start turning anyway, Sebastien had to thread the needle between the SUV and a car on the left. We've seen comments saying that not stopping to let someone turn in front of you is actually illegal because you're impeding traffic, but the opposite is actually true. Let me explain. If you have the right-of-way but you stop to let someone else turn in front of you, you're the one impeding traffic. All the traffic behind you. You're forcing other drivers to wait when you have the legal duty to continue. So the next time you think you'll do someone else a favor by stopping to let them turn, even though you have a clear road ahead, remember, it's not courteous, it's dangerous. Close the gap. Finally, another submission from Mexico. Our Mexican subscribers might be surprised to find out that we rarely get any submissions from south of the border. If we did, we'd be happy to feature them, just like this one. Ignacio is a rideshare driver who was working late one night in Cancun and had just picked up a passenger when he stopped to wait for traffic to pass before making a left turn across the road. For no discernible reason, another driver left the road before slamming into the front of Ignacio's JAC E10X. He was afraid the damage to his wheel would make it difficult to drive, so he didn't pursue the other driver as they drove off. Sadly, his dashcam didn't capture the hit-and-run driver's license plate number. A Good Samaritan did chase after them, then returned to give Ignacio descriptions of both the car and the driver, but both were too generic to help. Ignacio's passenger ended up getting a ride from someone else half an hour later. He's thankful she'd chosen to wear her seatbelt even though it isn't legally required there. Fixing his E10X took over 3 months and ended up costing the Mexican equivalent of about $3,800 US, of which he had to pay almost $1,200. He's thankful his electric vehicle wasn't totaled by the collision. Aiden sent us this Tesla behaving badly after watching the driver of a white Model 3 rear-end a white Model Y that was slowing down for an SUV that had turned onto the road in front of it.
That Tesla man can't drive. That Tesla man can't drive.
Now, some people might think this collision was the fault of the SUV driver who'd forced the Model Y driver to slam on her brakes. But if the Model 3 driver hadn't been following too closely, this collision wouldn't have happened. Aiden stopped to check on both Tesla drivers, and it turned out they were friends. Or at least they used to be. Thankfully, neither one was seriously injured. David was delivering a pizza in his Chevy Impala when a Subaru driver turned across his lane to reach a car wash. Even though David slammed on his brakes, he wasn't able to avoid colliding with the turning Subaru. He stopped to exchange information with the other driver, who left in the middle of the conversation to go to the bathroom. David told us the Impala is his first vehicle, and Wham Bam Dashcam inspired him to put a dashcam in it as soon as he bought it. This collision happened just 2 months later. He had one last thing to say: close the gap. Christian was on his way to a work meeting in his Renault when another driver pulled across the road even though a turning van was completely blocking his view. Both drivers were able to slam on their respective brakes before any collision occurred. The other driver then waved at Christian while continuing across the road in front of him, almost as if to say, "Sorry, I'm such a terrible driver." Christian kept going, but he told us he loves Teslas and watches Wham Bam Tesla Cam all the time. If you're also a Tesla fan, or even if you just want to see Teslas getting wrecked, be sure to check out that channel too. Nikki was driving in Edmonton when an impatient Subaru driver rear-ended the Pontiac right in front of them right after the traffic light turned green. With no way to cross 3 lanes of traffic and stop, Nikki kept going, but she told us both drivers pulled over and damage to their vehicles appeared minimal. Nathan was driving his Subaru Outback through Brighton, which should have been very dark at 5 a.m., but not this morning as he approached a huge, fully involved house fire. A pickup truck parked next to the house was also ablaze as flames shot out of the house at every available opening. Thankfully, it looked like everyone had managed to escape and was standing outside as he drove by. A volunteer firefighter had also passed Nathan on his way to the fire station 2 minutes away, so he knew first responders were already aware of the situation as he continued on his way. Sadly, he told us the house burned down anyway and the wreckage was torn down. The property has been vacant ever since. Eric's father was on his way to go shopping and was minutes from his destination when a Toyota Tacoma was clipped by a turning car as the driver made their way across an intersection. The turning driver had failed to yield before making an unprotected left turn, as evidenced by the pickup driver's green light. Eric's father found a safe place to park before retrieving this footage from his dashcam. He then called the police and told them he had dashcam footage of the collision, but they never contacted him back or sent anyone to collect it. Hopefully, it just wasn't needed in this case. This subscriber was driving down a Missouri highway when an SUV driver turned to enter the flow of traffic, right in front of a tanker that was going at least 60 miles per hour. The truck driver had to brake hard and swerve across our subscriber's lane, but the SUV driver did the same thing, forcing the trucker to lock up his brakes to avoid slamming into the other vehicle. In the end, the truck had to decelerate to about 30 miles per hour before the SUV sped up, leaving skid marks on the highway. Our subscriber noted there was no collision, but she's sure the trucker wasn't happy. Nissy was ordering burgers in a drive-thru when she experienced what she called a rare Pontiac punch. Sorry, we don't have a custom jingle for that one. Nissy told us that after the Pontiac driver rolled into the back of her Nissan Pathfinder, both drivers inspected their vehicles for damage. Her tow hitch had made a square indentation in the Pontiac's license plate, but otherwise, nothing had been damaged. Dylan was on his way to work one morning when he encountered one of the new Waymo vans equipped with enough LiDAR sensors to win any laser tag battle and looking like something out of a video game. I know some people still think the Cybertruck looks ugly, and they're clearly completely wrong about that, but just look at this thing. I mean, I can't even... What is it? Like, who thought this was a good idea? You will absolutely never convince me that the Cybertruck is uglier than whatever this thing is, but hopefully I can convince you to watch this episode containing Brandy's previous submission, which we mentioned earlier. If you've already seen it, why not check this one out? YouTube thinks it's perfect for you. Go see if it's right.
Wham! Bam, we got a Patreon, man. Please support the show.